go to sign up, create an account, and we've sent a verification email. Wow, let's see. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful email. And it says verify your email. Let's try to resend our email. Here, we get another email. And let's click this time. And I'm logged in. I can sign out. I can log in. Hi everyone, this is Ugur. Today we will implement an email-based authentication with email verification system. And if you didn't check out my previous video, I have talked about how we can design such system. Today we will see how we can implement such thing in Next 14 using app directory, server components, server actions, root handlers, TypeScript, Zod library, and Lucia Auth package, of course. Let's dive into it. I have a project that I took from my previous video, and I won't set up a database in this video. It's because we have already done it in the previous video. In this video, we've talked about username and password authentication. So let's edit the code we have. I will go to localhost and let me run my project. As you can see, I have a sign-in page and sign up page, username, password, and we will change it. So let's go to sign up page first. Then I will look for username. I will change it to email. I will do the same thing here, email, and change the label as well. And that should be good. And we get an error. It's because our schema looks for username. I will change those in the sign-in schema as well. I will say email.string and email. Let me copy this as well. Perfect. Now the error is gone and everything seems fine. Let me refresh page. I can see the email. I won't put type email here because I won't be able to check the value with Zod otherwise. I will left this as it is. All good. Let's edit our schemas. And we have username here. As I said before, we will get rid of that and it will be email. And we will also have another field is email verified and it should be a boolean, and we will import it from PC core as we use PostgreSQL. And at this just we are mapping it to snake case and it will not null and default is set to false. Perfect. We will have another table for email verification and I will call it email verification table. And in this table we will have ID and user ID that will reference to our user table so that we will know who is trying to verify this account. And we will have a code here that we will actually generate later in the video. And that seems fine. Let's create another terminal here. And since we have drizzle kit, we can run a command here, drizzle kit and pg push pg, and yes, changes applied. By the way, I have a database that is running in my localhost at 5432. It's a Docker container, as you can see, but you can use a cloud service as well. You will obtain a URL. It will look like this. And yeah, let's continue. That's how I actually applied those changes. And I can say npx drizzle kit studio, and it will give a link to me. I will open this and we will see our schemas here. User ID, hash, password, email, is email verified, seems fine. And we have a session table. Perfect. Let's go right into Auth actions to edit our authentication functions such as sign up and sign in. First thing first, I will change usernames with email like this, and error is gone. I don't want to return anything here. As you can see, we are creating a session. That means we are log the user in, but in our cases, we don't want it. Instead, we will generate a random string and it will be 6 characters long, numerical. I will let AI to do that. And let's check if it is true or not. It is not numerical, but that's fine. I'm okay with this. After we generating a random code here, we will generate a JWT token with code and email so that we can verify this user later in the video. And I will say token, and for that we will need to install a new package here, npmi JSON web token. And I just want to add something here. We have used Oslo package in the previous video, but I'm using Argon 2 in this video. It's because I didn't find Oslo mature enough to add a production ready project. So Argon 2 is very popular package. Anyway, let's import JWT from JSON Web Token like this. And we will say JWT sign, and it gives error. It says TypeScript definitions is missing. Let's edit. And now auto completion is ready. And I will pass the email, actually. Lose that email. I will pass the email instead of user ID, and I can grab it from values. And we need to pass a secret here. Let's create a secret in the env file. It's called JWT secret, and its value is secret. It doesn't matter in our application, but please put a secure secret key. And now I will put an exclamation point to say, I know it is defined in the env file. We can pass a third parameter, which is expires in, and we want this token to be expired after 5 min. So I will say 5m here. Perfect. We get token here. And let's actually create our URL. It could look like this one, a localhost and verify email token equals to token. Great. But we can improve this to be like this. Next, public host base URL. We can say process.env next public base URL like this. And then we can go to env file and give the same value. And when we publish it in Vercel or some other deployment service, we can actually change this public URL so that this URL can change based on the environment that we are running. Okay, great. Now we have an URL. Let's see how it looks like. And it says account created successfully, and we can see a URL in the server. Perfect. What we want to do is send an email at this step, but let's do it in the next minutes in the video, not now. For the simplicity, let's think that we get this from our email for now, but we will implement this later in the video. So what I want to do is when someone clicks this URL, I will verify this token and set is email verified to true and remove their existed code in the email verification table. And which reminded me something. We forgot to add this code in our user email verification table. Let's do it. I will say db insert email verification table, and values will be code, user ID, and ID. Perfect. And now let me remove this. And let's try it again. Okay, we created an account here, and also we have a code in the email verification table. That's great. So we can continue creating this page. Let's go to pages, and I will say verify email and page tsx export default function verify email. And each page in the next 14 gets a default props. And let me show you what I mean. As you can see, search params, we can actually reach to token here. So I will give a type here, and I will say search params, and it has token like this. And now I have auto completion. Now what can I do is check if is not exist. We can say invalid token or token is not found, and we can actually check this one. Let's do this. And as you can see, I see token is not found. Great. What could be the other issue? The token might be expired. So let's check for it. I will import JSON web token here, JWT, and I will say JWT verify props search params token with our secret key. So if it's not decoded or if it's expired, it will throw an error. So let's return the decoded thing. But since when it is expired, it will throw an error, I will wrap it with try catch so that when it is expired, I will say token is invalid like this. Oh, it actually says token is invalid. Our token is expired. If I didn't have this try catch, we will see a unhandled runtime error, which we should never show this to user. Perfect. Token is invalid. And let's actually generate another token. Let me remove that. Then let's continue. After decoding it, I know that it has an email in it and a code. I know this token has email and code in it. That's why I can call db here, import db, and a query to email verification table. And I will call find first, and where equals comes from there is a ORM, and I can say email verification table dot user ID equals to decoded email, and we will have another condition, and codes are equal as well. Let's assign it to a variable. Let's call it email verification query result equals to that one. And I will check if it returns a record or not, like this. But as you can see, I see some methods here, which it says that it's a promise. So I forgot to put an await here like this, but we can put await as we don't have an async keyword here. So we make our page async so that we can wait for this query to be run and return something. And if we don't have this row in our table, we will just say token is invalid. And let's call it something like this so that we can differentiate between this and that one. It's for the simplicity of the example. Anyway, after we pass this condition, that means that we can verify user's account. So I will call db.delete, and we are deleting this record from our table. And then I can call db.update user table and set is email verified to true. And I will say where equals to user table email and the email we get from the token. After we have done this, we should create a session and log the user in. It is that easy. So let's see. I will import Lucia here. I will import cookies from next headers and value for the user ID. I will say decoded email. Perfect. And let's actually remove the user. Let's go to sign up page and create a account. Account created successfully, and I get the token. I will enter this here and it says token is invalid. Let's check our table. We set is email verified to true. Our code is still here. Oh, okay, it's because we store a user ID, but we are checking it with email. So what we can do is that actually we can also give user ID here, which should be the easy fix. And now I will add user ID. I can actually say user ID. We will check with user ID. And yeah, we are doing the same thing here. Decoded user ID. And this is fine. And let's give user ID here as well. Decoded user ID. We can also give the email, but that's fine. Let's give the user ID. And yeah, we should be good now. Let me remove this and that record as well. Let's create account. Account is created. Here is email verified false. I go to here. It says token is invalid, but we set is email verified to true. And we don't have any code in here as well. Even though we get here, we see that part. So we get an error. Let's check what it is. Let's call JSON stringify e.message like this and give any. There is no code in our table, so we are entering this condition. That's why I will remove my user again. Go here and create an account. Oh, I couldn't. I will say yes. Oh, we have a session. Delete this one as well. And yeah, let's create an account. We have created it. We have a token. It says cookies can only be modified in a server action or root handler. I actually wanted to show you this error so that you learn something new from this video if you don't already know that. We can't actually change the cookies in our pages. That's why we will use a root handler for this case. I will create a new folder called API, and then I will say verify email, and I will create one more file which is root.txt, and I will create a new named function it will be get, so that it will map to a get request. And yeah, like this, it will get next request from next server. Great. And it will be async, of course. So what we can do is actually grab all of the things that we have done and paste it here. Perfect. We have some errors, of course. JWT, let's import it and import database equal function. And instead of returning a div, I can return a response here like this. And I can call JSON and we can pass a data here. Let's call it error. And we can pass some options as a second parameter like status. And I will do, let's import email verification table, user table, Lucia, and cookies. It was the reason that we have moved our logic into a root handler. And instead of returning the coded div here, I will say response redirect new URL, which we can say process.env dot next public base URL like this. Perfect. And let's return response.json and let's return the error like this. Perfect. And actually we don't need this page at all right now. Let's remove it. And another thing we need to change is this URL. We will add an API to URL so that we actually run this code. One more thing, we don't have props now, so we need to get it from the URL. Actually, let's create a variable called URL and we will say new URL with the given in the request, and we can get search params like this, and I can say token, search params get token, and we can use this token here. But we don't know that if token is exist or not. So if token is not exist, we can return something here. Token is not existed. Perfect. Let's remove the database first. Let me actually do like this, truncate. Perfect. I have removed database. Create a new user, account created successfully, and we get a URL here. Let's click on it. And I am redirected to my page, which is great. It's awesome. So it's a protected route and I can see my user ID. That's great. So let's go to sign in method and update it. That actions, go to sign in. I've got some errors as well. I will change it to email. So we are getting the existing user, and if there is no user, we are just returning an error, and we don't need this part. And yeah, we will check the password here, and I will say hash password. Okay, it says it's maybe null, but let's check the schema. Okay, as you can see, we don't have a not null keyword here. I will mark it as not null, as all users will have user password. But if you want to add social login, this hash password may be null if they want to log in with Google, Facebook, or Instagram, or any other social media platform. So let's left this as it is. We may extend it to social login in the future. I will go here and I will actually go back. It turns out we need this part there as well. We know we have a hash password and we check if password is correct. If it is not, we return an error. And after that, we are just creating a session, which is great, and we can log in. But even though password is correct, we should also check if if existing users is email verified is set to true. If it's not true, we will return an error, email is not verified. So let's try, but we should change the UI first. Sign in form, I have errors. I will change it to email, and email. Perfect. And I'm logged in. Perfect. But what happens if I go to user and make is-email verified to false? Save changes, try to log in, email not verified. Perfect. In that case, user has no option to verify its account. So that's why we need to show some kind of button here so that user will be able to trigger send verification email again. And then they can grab the verification link and go there and verify their account. For that, I will have a state show send show verification email, and I will import use state, and I will simply have a button, and we will render this conditionally is a show resend verification email. If it's true, we will render this button resend. Okay, let's call it send verification email, and variant will be link that comes from ShedCN, and we don't see anything. And we will set this true when we have an error that says email not verified. How do we know that? So here we show the error, but we can have a key here, key field like this, and we can say email not verified. And we can compare it instead of error message because it may be changed in the future, but the key will be same. That's why we compare the key. Here I will say res.key equals to email not verified, and in this case I will set this to true. Let's check. That's perfect. We get this. Now I will have a function that will run on this button is clicked, and I will call it on resend verification email. I will create a function here on resend verification email, and what I'll do is create a new function that will resend email verification. Export const resend verification email, and it will take an email, as you can see. First of all, I will wrap all function with a try catch and return an error. In case of any error occurs, type will be any. Here, first thing we will do is we'll check if user is existed. And if it is not exist, we will just return user not found. And we will check is email verified true. And if it's true, we will return an error. Email is already verified. Otherwise, we are generating a code here and then insert this code and generate a token URL. It seems like we have a bunch of code that is common with sign-up code, but I don't mind it for now. But we can split them into other functions, so we can use those functions in sign-up and resend functions. But instead of inserting here, I will actually update the existed row. It's because if someone tries to resend email verification, it means that we have already a recording in our email verification table. So I will call await db.update email verification set code, and where the user IDs are equal. Perfect. And we are just log the URL. And let's return email sent here. And in the sign-in form, I will call resend verification email, and I will pass form.getValues email like this. If rest error, I will show a toast, and if it's a success, I will show a toast as well, like this. So let's go here and try it. It says email not verified when I try to log in, and I will click send verification email, and email is sent. Beautiful. So I should see a link here, and I can see if I go here, it says invalid token. Why it is invalid, I wonder. Let's check. I will get this token, go to JVT decode here, and I will paste it. So we have a code and user ID, email. Code is blah blah. I wonder if this code is equal to the code we have in our email verification. Oh, okay, we don't have any data. It's because we have already verified this account and I manually set this to false. I will actually remove all the things from here and I will say cascade truncate. Now I will create an account from the beginning. Like this, account created successfully, perfect. And I have a user false and I have a recording email verification. So let's say I forgot to go to my email and click the verification email and the time has passed and the token has expired. And I will go here and try to log in. It will say email not verified, which is good. And I will click on send verification email. It says email was sent and I get this link. Let's click on this. Before that, see how is my code has changing so that the previous code becomes invalid automatically. So if I click it again, we will see another code. If I click it again, our code will be changed. But do you see an issue here? I can actually click many times. And yeah, imagine that we are actually sending emails. If someone has bad intentions, it may cost you some money. As you can see, we are generating code here. And anyway, let's click on these and I'm redirected to my dashboard here. And this should be removed and user is email verified is became true. Okay, next step is actually disabling this button. And if I try it again, it will give email already verified. I won't see this when I refresh it again, but I see it because the state has an update in this page. If I refresh it, I will see a login page and I will just log in. I don't see the verification email button. Anyway, let me close these. I will remove my table again, remove datas again, try to log in, user not found, sign up, create an account created successfully, and I can click it many times. So let's prevent this. For that, let's have a timer that will go down from 60, so which means 60 seconds, 1 minute, and we will give 1 minute timeout to user, right? For that, we will use a package that will provide a lot of useful hooks to us, which is use hook ts, and we will use countdown. I will install this package, use hooks, and copy the import here. And there is an example how we can use it. I will copy that one as well here. So yeah, we have an interval value. Actually, we don't need this part. So we can manually set this to 1 second and we can show our count to users. For now, let's have this JSON stringify count. And I see the value 60. When send verification email is clicked, let's call a start countdown. If we get a success here, I will start countdown like this. Let's see. And yeah, we can see that it goes one by one, which is great. And I can say this button will be disabled if count is bigger than 0, but also it shouldn't be 60 as well. So I get email verification, email not verified error, and I can click on the button. And once I click, it became disabled. I am not able to click it again until it became 0. We should also check the counts. If it became 0, we should set it to 60 again. We should actually reset the countdown. So I will call use effect here and I will pass count as dependency. If it is 0, I will say stop countdown and reset countdown like this. For now, let's make this 10 seconds. I click on this. I'm not able to click anymore. And now I'm available to click. Perfect. But there is one issue as well. This only prevents client-side bad intentions, but you will see that when I click this button, we actually send a request to our server, right? As you can see, I am passing my email. If I copy this request, and so even though I am not able to send any messages through this button, I will be able to send many requests again using this console or any other tool. It's because it happens in the server. The client is just a trigger, right? You will see that we have sent many requests again. So we should also prevent this in our server as well. How we can do that is pretty easy. We can change our email verification table a bit. So I will go to schema and I will add a sent at attribute and it will be a timestamp like this. Let's run empty result kits generates pg and then push pg and we have sent at value. Let's actually remove all the data here. Okay, we need to edit some code here. We are done with schema changes, which will be in the whole places that we modify email verification. So let's take a look at. For example, in the resend verification email, we should set send at and give a new date like this. And in the sign up function as well. So we will need to give send at value and new date. And let's check API route handler as well. Do we need to change something here? And we are just finding things. We don't update anything yet. We should be good. Now let's go to sign up and try to sign up. I click, and account create successfully. And I go to email verification table and we have a send at field that will show the exact time. And we need to check this field if 1 minute has passed or not when we resend email, which we will do in this function. We check existing user exists, we generate a code, we update. Okay, before generating any code, we will get the record from email verification table. So existed code await DB query email verification table find first, and I will say where equal to verification user ID equals to existing user ID. Seems good. And I will say if existing code is not there, just return an error. Code not found, that's fine. If we pass this condition, it means that we have an existed code and we have a send ads value in this record here. And we can actually check if 1 minute has passed or not. Is 1 minute has passed. And we can calculate it like this. We are getting the current time. We make subtraction and we will check. Of course, those are in milliseconds so that we are checking it if it's bigger than 60,000 milliseconds, which is 1 minute. So if 1 minute has passed, it's fine. But if 1 minute hasn't passed, we will return email already sent, next email in blah blah seconds. So I just let AI to do this calculation, and it seems correct. By the way, if 1 minute has passed, we can just generate our code and do the rest. So let's see. I will try to log in and it will say email is not verified. Let's send verification email. Email sent. I can click on this. This fine. But the good thing is if I copy this request, let's copy this as fetch and go to console. If I send this request and put that here so that we can see the result, and I can see that we get an error. Email already sent. Next email in 36 seconds. Great. And I should make these 60 as well. And I can actually put this so that we have a nice user experience. Email is not verified. Send verification email. And I see that send verification in blah blah. And I'm not able to send any email through the console or anywhere. All right. If you have watched this for, thank you for watching. And if you learned something new in this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Anyway, let's go back to video, and I appreciate if you became a subscriber and give a follow. So let's check if I forgot anything. I click and it says email not verified. I send email verification, email sent. I get my key here. I can log in directly. Perfect. And I can log in with my password and we check if is email verified or not. Let's go to sign up and try to sign up with this email. And it says duplicate key. One thing we can improve. Let me remove my tables again. I've done it many times in this video. After creating the user, we should say account create. We should say instead of account create successfully, we have sent an verification email to you. Your inbox, please verify your email to continue. And we don't need to push them into nowhere, so they can stay there, stay in sign up page. And actually, then we can copy some things from sign in page. Again, we can make this modular so that we don't duplicate codes. But yeah, anyway, I will copy these, put it here, maybe import this, import these. Great. And when we say we've sent an application verification email, blah blah, we will set show resend verification email to true, and rest is same. So let's see. We get an error on resend function is not verified. Okay, let's grab that one. It is here, and we will call resend email verification. We get email here, but we have already created the user. So let me reset my table. Perfect. And get rid of this. Submit. We've sent an email verification and please verify your email. And we have this send verification email UI. Email already sent, next email in 51 seconds. Oh, but okay, why this doesn't work? And we start to count down. It says email already sent. It's because I need to start countdown after sign up, because we already sent email in the sign up, as you may remember. I'm not able to show it to you. Let me remove my data once more, and I will. And you see send verification email in blah blah, because we have already sent it. Great. So everything works. And if I go to here and click this link, and I will redirect to a protected route, and my ID is here. So we log user in. Okay, how do we send email to user? And we will use Gmail for that, because it's free, and we are actually will be using our personal account. But you shouldn't do that if you are going to create a production level application. You should use some third-party service like Mailgun, SendGrid, or Amazon simple email service, or Resend. There are many services, and you should send the emails via your custom domain, not a personal domain. Anyway, let's continue. We will use NodeMailer for sending email because it's easiest way. It explains that NodeMailer is a module for Node.js applications to allow easy SK email sending. Let's copy this command and install that package. And we will need to create a transporter, and I will do that in my lib folder. I will say email.ts, and we will create a transporter, and we will import NodeMailer from NodeMailer. And it doesn't have TypeScript types. Let's install them. Error is gone. Perfect. Now let's check what is the configuration for Gmail. I have already know this information. So yeah, the host will be SMTP Gmail, and port is fine. For the auth, you should enter your personal Gmail address and your Gmail password. Don't worry, it is very well-known package, and they won't steal your password. I will go to env file and actually paste my email and password here, so you are not going to see that. Gmail, let's call it Gmail user and Gmail password. And I will say process.env Gmail user, process.env Gmail password, like this. And let me edit this env file quickly. It's almost done. Okay, I'm done. So we have created a transporter, and how do we send an email? We will have a function send email, and we can actually say transporter send email, and it's actually here. We can see that's how we send emails. Let's grab that one, paste it, and from will be Ugur. Let's call it Ugur. This should be my email, process.env Gmail user, and we will pass to from params. And I don't actually having parameters like this, but I like this more. It is more readable, easy. I like them having in an object. And we will get rid of this string, and we don't use text, but we will use HTML. And yeah, perfect. Great. We have a send email. And now I will go to Auth actions for resend verification email. Where do we send our email? Where do we do that? Where do we do that? We update our code, we generate a token, we generate a URL, and we send our email here. HTML will be verify your email, subject, and to an email. And for the sign up, we will also send this URL, and it will be values.email. Great. We should also check if this email has successfully sent or not, but this video is getting longer and longer, so let's skip it. Now I will sign out. I will actually remove my table, remove my data for the last time in this video, hopefully. Okay, let's create an account, and we get an error that say invalid login, username, password is not accepted. Username and password not accepted. Okay. Yeah, the reason we get this error is because I use 2FA in my Gmail account. So we need to generate app password. So our application will enter this password, then 2FA will bypass. And this article shows how we can generate an app password. So let's go to Google account. I will search for add password here. I need to enter my password and give it a name, and let's create it. And you can see that we have generated a password, and I will paste it in my env file. But let me change it in my second screen. So instead of my actual password, I will put that password that we generated. Okay, I have put it and saved it. And now, okay, I will click submit, but we already created our user. So let's remove our data one more time. Go to sign up, create an account, and we've sent a verification email. Wow, let's see. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful email. We get this. And it says verify your email. And we can send email in 40 seconds. I'm sure we can do that. So let's wait for some time and resend it again. Okay, time is almost there. One thing I want to say that after generating the user, we should maybe we may hide this field and have a send verification email or some kind of like UI. It's because maybe user didn't see the toast, right? So we get rid of email password and confirm password and this form and say we have sent an email. Please check your inbox, which is more user friendly. Anyway, let's try to resend our email. Email sent. Yeah, we can change this text as well. It's not friendly, but here we get another email. And let's click this time. And I'm logged in. I can sign out. I can log in. That is great. Yeah, this was all for this video. And thank you if you watched this so far. And I hope it was helpful to you. I will record more videos around Lucia Auth package. And we have used Lucia for just creating cookies. But this is the whole logic behind this. It's beautiful package and it's easy to use. I'm glad recording those kind of videos. It's fun, and please consider subscribing to my channel. We were just 15 and 14 subscribers 2 days ago, and now we are 19. And yeah, the videos are watched like 70, and it's fine. It's good. I'm happy with it. And if you have comments, please give some feedbacks. How can I improve the videos? This was Ur, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.